Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of the Vibe House Podcast. Welcome to the house where the vibes make you feel at home. I am Tay, and I am excited to be with you guys today. We are back. We're going to get into some things, so let's go ahead and get into this catch-up so I can get you guys started on all of the news for the week. So, number one for this week, we're going to talk about Aaliyah. I think last week I talked about her a little bit. I know that they were putting more of her music on Spotify, so 1 in a Million did drop on Spotify. But then also this week was the 20th anniversary of her passing. She died very young. I know, most of our listeners probably know that. And it is very sad to see, and you see so many, young stars now, and you think, about the things that have happened to them, kind of like Juice WRLD and things, like people who are just gone too soon. And it makes you very sad. Her passing gives me the same feeling as Mac Miller and a few other people, a few other artists that just had so much potential, so much creative and musical potential in them, that it's sad to see them go so early. And I'm so happy that we are able to still, experience her through her music and her music videos. That's what I really love about music, is that it can really, your persona can live in perpetuity, forever. So it's just a capsule of, remembering how amazing and how talented they were. So it is exciting to see her work, now getting in, onto more streaming services and having all of her songs on there. I think they're going to be dropping a new album on there every month, so that is very exciting. There are a few songs that I'm ready to add to my playlist right now. definitely went through 1 in a Million and added a few new songs. So if you guys are Aaliyah fans, or just want to be nostalgic per se, you guys definitely go check that out. Or if you're from kind of Gen Z generation and you didn't really get to experience Aaliyah when you were younger, I think she's a great person to get into if you really love R&B and rap. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop into another story for the catch up. So I know we haven't talked about Kanye in a couple weeks because Donda has kind of been here and there, but Kanye did have a third number 3 this is his third album release party for Donda, and Donda has not dropped. So we'll see how that goes. I know this Drake Kanye thing has been brewing, which we'll talk about in the breakdown, but we'll see if we get an album from Kanye anytime soon. But the performance itself, we're just going to talk about that for a second. It was a lot. I know he rebuilt his childhood home in Chicago. He built it for the project on stage, and then I think there was also a moment, he's played all the songs. He played it first in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and then the second time, and then there were some changes. But we all heard Jay-Z's verse, and we all got hyped for it. But now the baby has been replaced on the verse. I don't know if that's going to happen on the album as well, or the deluxe, or anything like that. But it seems like the baby's verse has replaced Jay-Z, which, in my opinion, everyone was kind of waiting for the whole, Watch the Throne Part 2 situation. So it's just I don't know how Jay is going to take that. Of course, you never know if they talked about it, and if this is kind of okay with him, because I think he put the baby on the verse just in light of his whole homophobic remarks situation and everything like that. And I think he's just a lot of people have judged me in my career, and I've gotten second chances, so he wanted to give him that second chance and give him that hot point, since people, in the verse, the baby does talk about the situation and talk about, you guys are taking food out my baby's mouths and stuff like that. That's just over one thing I said, and now y'all want to make me make me the criminal. Which, I mean, it's just, if people feel sensitively about subjects, especially he's speaking on HIV and things like that, I think you have to be sensitive topics need a soft hand. And I don't think, festivals and everything else, they have advertisers, and you have to think beyond that. If you're an artist, you have to think beyond and grow past just thinking, I want to say whatever I want, because you're dealing with other people's brands as well, not just your own, but you're dealing with the company's brand and the festival's brand. And if that cuts out a whole bunch of their audience, it cuts out a whole bunch of his audience. So hopefully he learns from this experience. I think last week in his freestyle, we talked about it a little bit. Actually, no, we're going to talk about that later. I thought we had talked about it. It's been such a long week. But we're going to get into his freestyle actually in the breakdown as well. And he sounded a little bit more apologetic, I guess. I mean, I don't really know what apologetic is for the baby because he seems to be very prideful. So we'll see if I don't know. I think he will always feel that way. And that's the thing, is that people know that now. So I don't know. I mean, people support Chick-fil-A and all that stuff, and they're plenty homophobic. I know not, each Chick-fil-A, but like the corporation itself. So with that being said, we're also going to talk about some other things, not just the baby, from Kanye's show. He also brought what looked like to be Kim Kardashian, so of course his wife, or his estranged wife, divorced ex-wife. I don't know really their situation currently. They have a ton of kids together, so of course they probably still have a great connection. He probably still hangs out with his children all the time, and speaks to them all the time. So I don't think it's weird them having like a copacetic relationship, especially since they're both rich. Like, they are both rich and famous, so I don't think they have a problem with like child support or who's gonna take care of the kids and all that stuff. So I think they still get along. I know she came to the show in Atlanta, I think the second one, and she was also there. They like reenacted their wedding at this one, which was crazy. It's kind of wild. It's like he kind of like got her wrapped up in his like craziness somehow. But I mean, I think it was a beautiful scene, especially I think he's like trying to, I saw this thing online about him conjuring spirits at his shows. Like, I don't know about all that because I've never been to a Kanye show. But I think he was kind of like trying to show his mom, like, because I think he, is sad that his mom didn't get to see him get married and have kids and do all those things. So I think that's something he was trying to bring to the piece. And I mean, I think it's kind of interesting, especially since they didn't seem to be on good terms, but like they look like they love each other still. Like, maybe his ego was just too much to be married to, but I thought hers was too. But I know she's doing this whole lawyer thing now, so you never know. People grow and evolve, but it's interesting to see them getting together for his album release party. And last but not least with Kanye, he's gonna be known, I guess, kind of like in the Prince way, artist formerly known as Kanye, because he officially changed his name to Ye. I think I saw that all over like the internet. I don't think anyone's like using it. I know people use it as like a nickname, but I don't know if people are gonna just like start calling him Ye all the time. But we'll see. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into more of this Kanye drama. He has really taken over everything this week. We're gonna go ahead and get into that in the breakdown. So let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this breakdown for the week. So much has been going on. Like, I know that I say that every week, but this week has been crazy. So this week we kind of had a debacle between Drake and Kanye, which kind of got weird again. So I think if you guys remember back in 2017, Drake and Pusha T kind of had this beef back and forth, doing songs and stuff like that. And Pusha had released the information that, Drake had a child, that Drake, had a baby on the way, or had a baby that was, already born, and kind of like spilt Drake's tea all over our record. And like, the only person who knew that information was Kanye. And of course, Pusha T is I think last week I kind of like flubbed and said that he was with TDE, but I don't know why I said that. I know he is the president of Good Music. I don't know why. I don't know, whatever. But he actually, of course, the only person who knew that information was Kanye. Kanye's on Good Music. They are, it's his brand, so it's, very obvious to say that Kanye was probably the one who spilled the beans to Pusha, and Pusha, went ahead and put it on his project, which, was very uncouth of him, to me. But, so with that being said, there was this like kind of strife between Kanye and Drake. And I think it kind of like died out. They kind of, just like stopped talking about it, and it wasn't really an issue until this week. I forgot what was said. I know there's so much, but I think Kanye was on, or Drake was on, someone, I forgot, on Trippie Redd's project, and he, had a verse about, about Kanye on there, and then Kanye, went into like their friend group chat, which is very weird. I can't like see all of them being in the group chat together, and like kind of like came back at him in the group chat and then posted it on Instagram, which is like so much drama. He posted it on Instagram, I believe, and then I think Drake posted like a video laughing or like kind of brushing it off and like not being too worried, or kind of being unbothered about it, which I think was the way to be. But then Kanye proceeds to drop Drake's location, like his current location, on like on Twitter or something, like Twitter or Instagram or something like that, and then deleted it. But that's like millions and thousands of people. Like Drake is a huge star, like to just give out his information like that. Like you would think Kanye wouldn't do that. Like his paranoid like self would not. I mean, I know he's got bipolar, so I don't know what, I don't want to blame all of his actions on his, mental illness, but like I don't I don't know what's going on there. Like he's gonna show all his information, and Drake, and they have like albums coming out. So Drake has Certified Lover Boy coming out soon. There was like kind of this weird thing that happened during like ESPN or doing like some football thing. I don't know, I don't watch sports, but Drake kind of, I guess they say he hacked it, and there's a picture of like CLB, which is like Certified Lover Boy, September 3rd. So his project might be dropping then, and so there's kind of, since Donda hasn't dropped, there's this thing that like maybe they'll have releases. Kanye back in the day had this thing with 50 Cent. I don't know if y'all know. This is like real deep history at this point, but I think they had this thing where they were both like competing to see who would have the highest, but they like were making it known, like we're dropping the same day, going head to head to see who sells out. I can't remember who sold. I can't remember who won, to be completely honest. I just remember it being on like TRL, which is like, I know I'm probably aging myself, but I remember it being on TRL and them like being on together and being really weird. So I think that's really interesting to like bring that vibe and bring that like competitiveness about rap back into like 2021. So that would be interesting to see if they are going to have like basically a shared album release date, because a lot of artists now, try to avoid dropping when big artists drop. So like if Drake's dropping, no one else will drop that day. So because you want, everyone going to listen to your music instead of listening to, the other person. So we'll see. I think it's, it's going to be a boost for both of them just because they've been going back and forth. I think it like has built enough attention, and I think Kanye needed to do that because people were feeling like, I mean, at least me personally, I was feeling off of Donda. Like, not worried about Donda at all because he keeps saying it's going to drop, it's going to drop, it's going to drop, and it's just like, I'll be here when, if, however it drops. Like, I'll listen to it then. Like, I'm not gonna like keep talking about it and be worried about it, put on the page or anything like that. So I think this, definitely brought him back into the conversation, as well as putting the baby on the project as well. So I think people are re-excited, reinvigorated to hear Donda. But it's just so much going on. So maybe we'll get it, September 3rd along with Drake's album. That would be crazy. But kind of getting more, taking from the baby and him being on Kanye's new verse, he also had a freestyle come out last week or this week called Whole Lot of Money. And it's the song, by Bia, and of course that Nicki hopped onto. But he did a freestyle to that, to that beat, and it was, he was basically talking about the issue, regarding the whole homophobic remarks thing, and him saying that like he never meant to intentionally offend anyone. But what he said, he's not saying that like he was sorry for saying something offensive. He's just like, I just didn't think it would hurt nobody's feelings, which is just like I don't know. I was like, I still don't know how I feel about it. I know a lot of people are, trying to feel him again, or, never really stopped, feeling him. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. I'm torn, to be completely honest, because I don't agree with what he said, but I do like his music. And I think people have done that a lot lately, like Doja Cat. Like, she had that whole thing where she was canceled and then brought back. And I love Doja Cat's music. She can like Get Into It, Yeah is on my playlist. So it's really hard, I think, nowadays to really cancel somebody. Like, I don't really know how that ends up working. But he was able, because of course the baby was getting blocked from a lot of festivals and being taken off a lot of lists. And I think Hot 97, that's who brought him on. Hot 97 in New York brought him back on air and did their, he did their concert series or did their festival for this year. So, I mean, he's still getting some support, so we'll see if that continues. So, these canceled situations only seem to last, like a month or two, a couple weeks at most. So, we'll see how he's able to bounce back for this, or if people are just going to drop it off and brush it off and just keep going and listening to his music. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye out on this situation and see how it turns out for the baby, honestly, because I know he's got a lot going on. Danny's baby is his baby, because like, I'm not even gonna like say it anymore. Like, I know she had the baby at this point, and like we're just gonna brush over it, but he's got like 3 baby mamas, or like 2, 3 baby mamas. Like, I don't know. So he needs some money. I don't know. I don't want to take. You saying like people were taking food out his daughter's mouths, and I'm just like, I guess, but you kind of did it. Like, I don't know. But enough about the baby. Actually, I brought up Doja Cat, probably because she was already on my brain. We're going to go ahead and get into a little story about her. She will be hosting the VMAs this year. The VMAs are going to be out 9/12, so in a couple weeks in September, it's going to be on air. And I'm super excited to see her as host because she is not just talented, she's also funny as well. So I want to see how this works out for her. I don't think we've seen her, like, other than music and being online and stuff, we've never seen her in a host or acting capacity, so I hope she does well. She's making me like really want to watch it. I haven't been watching a lot of like Grammys. I think I talked about that a couple episodes ago, but mainly because I end up hearing about it online, and that everyone's kind of like over it anyway, and I can see the performances whenever I want. So I've never really been like lately I haven't been like right on it, but I kind of want to see the VMAs live because I know it's going to be lit. Twitter's probably going to be covering it, so I'm definitely think I'm going to try checking that out. But with all of that said, with the breakdown, let's go ahead and get into some new releases, which you guys really come here for. Come here for the vibes, stay for the stories. But but let's go ahead and get into this for this week. So we have Sharing Locations from Meek Mill, Lil Durk, and Lil Baby. It's a very interesting mix. I listened to it the other day. I like it. It's a vibe. I don't really know what else to say about it. It is a single. It's not a project, so we'll see if it is Meek's song, so we'll see if Meek plans on dropping a new project soon. I think it's interesting, kind of, because before it used to be like if a artist or whatever, if they dropped a single, you would be like, there's an album around the corner, like for sure. But like nowadays, people could just drop because they were recording with their friend, the song turned out good, and they wanted to drop it. So we'll see. I don't know. Actually, I don't know when Meek's last project was, so it would be interesting to have a new project from Meek Mill around the corner, Meek Millie. And then we do have a new release. We have a new feature from Kendrick Lamar on Baby Keem's project, Family Ties. It is a single as well. And I think they are actually cousins from what I've heard. I think I was like listening to a story about them, or like listening to Billboard's story of the week. And they were talking about them, and I think it's interesting that Kendrick was just saying he was about to put out his like last album, or like working on his last album, and here comes a new, like the first verse we've heard from Kendrick in a very long time, like since Damn came out. So very interesting to see that, and see that pop up on our stream. So very exciting. I mean, I wonder, kind of how SZA said, I think he might be taking, wow, I didn't even think about that. He might be taking a page out of SZA's book, because SZA said she wasn't going to drop another album. Like, she was, done with dropping and stuff like that, but she dropped singles constantly. So I wonder if Kendrick's going to, like, take a page out of that and be like, I'm done creating projects of work. Like, I've done that, won my Pulitzer. Like, I just want to do this for fun, shits, giggles. Like, I just want to put out music. So we'll see, we'll see exactly what happens, moving forward with Kendrick, but that is very exciting to see. We also have a new project, See You Next Wednesday, from Belly. The main thing I saw this, a particular song was with him and The Weeknd that I really liked. I think there are some other people on that project that I saw that were very interesting as well. So I definitely want to get into that this week. And you might see a couple of features from that on the playlist. So definitely stay tuned Monday for that on the page. And then last for this week, we do have a new project, or a new single from Joyner Lucas, and he is featuring Lil TJ on this project as well, and it's called Dreams Unfold. It's a very interesting mix between them two. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, but I definitely did enjoy it. So I've seen Joyner Lucas live. I think he was on tour with Chris Brown a couple years ago, and I was working radio promotions. So, I liked his music. I like his vibe. He does perform well. I think him and Lil TJ are interesting. I think don't quote me on this. I could be completely wrong, but isn't Lil TJ still in jail? Like, question mark. I know Melly drops music and he's still in jail. I'm sure it's just like their camp, sending out verses and stuff, but interesting little mix there, so it's interesting to see, but it is really good and it turned out really well. We also have some honorable mentions this week. I believe we have a new project from Nelly. I think it's a full album. I don't know the name of that, but I think I'm going to check that out this week as well. We also have a new song or a project from Halsey, as well as a new song from Selena Gomez. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely go over to the page and check that stuff out as well. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap everything up for today. So let's go ahead and close it out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in every week. If you guys, have been listening, I am so happy to be back on the mic. But as we close out this week, I just want to let you guys know that we are going to be making a few changes to the page. I know I said I would be on IG Live every Friday, but that has been so much taking on with, also recording the podcast. So we are going to still be on IG Live, but catch us every Thursday now. There will be a new post about it, so you guys can definitely go check that out. But I will be live every week. I still want to do that. Just it needed some finagling in my schedule, so I think that's going to work out really well. So guys, make sure you check us out every Thursday at 12 p.m. on the Vibe House TV. That's VIBEHOUSE TV. And you guys can also check us out there for, stories throughout the week and post throughout the week as well. And if you guys want to catch up with me during the week, you guys can stop over at T by Tay. That's TEABYTAYE if you guys want to check me out. But thank you guys so much for being here. If you guys want to check some stuff out, I have been posting like wedding stuff and like wedding DIYs. So if you guys want to see any of that, go over to my personal page. But with that being said, we will see you guys very, very soon. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.